We are now recording the January 24th, 2020 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday!
So is everyone working feverishly this week? Two of us were getting the last second's worth of work done before we came on tonight.
That's right.
Got it.
I still have
working all
employees here.
weekend.
Yep, everybody's working. I had one work till 9 o'clock last night.
Wow.
But she didn't want to come in on Saturday, and she's an hour away. So she's like, if you'll feed me, I'll keep on going. I'm like, I'll feed
There you go. That was an easy choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but we're really, what's today? The 24th? We're doing all
doing pretty
right.
good.
I mean, we'll probably be finishing up Monday, Tuesday at the worst.
Nice.
We have one more week to go.
That's awesome for us. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I'm planning on working all weekend so I can get most of it done. There's still a few people, I don't even know where I am or what all I still need from them.
Well, I have a whole spreadsheet, pending, color code. You know, we get crazy with it. Yeah.
I normally do too, but this year I'm just winging it.
Oh, yeah. I'm so afraid I'll forget something.
I know. This week I was slammed. As much as I try to be prepared for the end of the year. And I'm trying to do more bookkeeping and less QuickBooks consulting, but it just doesn't happen. Those clients that I only see once a year, they still come back.
They'll show up, don't they? Well, I have all this planning that I do in December. I got my engagement letters out and got the software purchased and, got everything all lined up. And then I sort of dropped the ball, and then the holidays and company and stuff. And so here we are in the middle of January, and I had already, we make our forms by printing the instructions on the back, the regular paper for 1099s and perf paper for the 4-ups. So I done the 1099s, and I was working on 1099s, and I even had a temp. And the first gal that started in on W-2s went, "Where are the forms?" And I went, "Oh, I forgot that part." I'm like,
Uh-oh.
But I had in my notes that it wasn't a big deal anymore. I mean, I had that in my head, and I couldn't find my notes. And so, because usually you have to get the instructions, you have to squish them in Word, and you try to get them to fit on one page. It's a pain in the butt. And so I got the instruction. QuickBooks actually has the instructions, so I exported I cut and pasted that for Word, and I couldn't get it to fit, and an hour and a half later, I'm like, what am I doing? And then somebody goes, "Oh," she said, "There's a copy of the instructions that fit on one page right here." It was in another piece of software.
After wasting an hour and a half.
It's just like, and then I found my spreadsheet or my checklist. I have it in OneNote because I'm getting really good about just putting everything in OneNote, and it's so easy to find. And there it was. Do this, the Stahl on this machine, and it's like, why do I set these systems up and just don't do them? So, but my gals are great because they've been with me so long. They'll finally just go, "Move over, Laidlaw, I'll do it."
Nice. It's nice when you have that relationship.
Oh yeah, it is. It's like, have you gotten around to doing the instructions? No, I'm working on it. Yeah, right. So, but if we did more, it would have been a little easier if I had done that in December. But it doesn't always happen.
That's, I think that's what happened to me. That this year, I didn't get started until the second week in January. That first week, I was still hanging out with friends and the holidays and seeing family, and then all of a sudden, it's like.
But you know what? When you do weekly and monthly bookkeeping, you have to get your regular work out. So it's like everybody's just going as fast as they can, doing normal
There's
work.
no more food. You're done.
Until we got to about Monday the 13th, the 14th, and then we start changing. And so I think all of us have instinctively, let's get all our regular work out of the way. line it up, sort of like assembly line, line it all up and just start going, you get in that 1099 mode, you should go 1099, 10, 10, 10.
Start
then
cranking them out.
W-2s. And we prioritize them by, if there's any that we have to mail to the client, I want them out first. I want the big ones out first, the big ugly ones out first. And then the rest is just smooth sailing. Because now we electronically file everything. And if we have to drop 1099s or W-2s in the mail to the recipients, I don't have to worry about it until, it's not like,
Right.
it's not like you have to get it to the client. The client has to do anything with it. So that's
Like the old days.
Yeah, that's really made the stress a lot less. But some of them still want to come pick them up and do it themselves. So I would just want them out first. So, but that one client where I have, we had 300 W-9s, a little over 200 1099s, and it was 3 days of testing and reading and comparing and then we get to the 10 match and I had 10 duds. And it's amazing. You know what a lot of them were? Sole proprietors with their name mismatching the EIN. And I'm like, but then if you run the LLC name, it'll go through like a partnership.
Wow.
It's like, I'm not convinced that the IRS systems.
Yeah.
You're
People would know
probably
that they're
right. They're not using the latest and greatest.
No, and
Because
you
guys
know
all
if
know
you're a sole
that they're not
proprietor
always
or not?
accurate.
They're
No.
probably all on Windows 7 too.
Well, you have to use Internet Explorer to do anything in IRS.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah,
their
that-
technology about 1990s.
I mean, that and QuickBooks you have to do IE if you want to convert. No, you're out of control.
Yeah, because my tin mismatches sometimes too, and I know I'm filling it out right.
Mm-hmm. So I tried it. I tried running them through with the LLC name first instead of second, and a bunch of them went through. And I'm like, go
How
through.
does that work? Right. No, I get it.
And then you've got the one. You got the one where he marked independent. He marked. I found I had the client. I'm like, it's not going through. Just send me the W-9. And the guy had checked off single member LLC, individual, and S corp.
Okay.
I'm like,
What are you? Right.
so it didn't go through with his name. It went through with the ZIN. So I'm gonna hope he's S corp. Could be a partner. I can't imagine he would check two and they'd be the third.
Who knows? Who knows?
People really are confused when filling out the form. And
Yeah, that's why
My
Sarah.
program is working great. You guys.
and I thought this new form was a lot easier to fill out and understand than the last form.
Yeah.
But sorry, you were saying about your program.
My little form filler. So with y'all's help, I found that one bug, and then I determined that I talked to the company, and while they encrypt EIN and social security numbers in their database, once it's released on a form out into the world, it's not, the email's not. I know, Ernest, I'm a little handsy today. Laughing at me over there. What was I talking about? Once
The EIN.
So what it does is they fill out the form. It does a merge with a Word document and creates a PDF. And I was attaching that to the notification emails. And I came up with a really cool trigger that once I got an attachment, it went automatically to ShareFile right into the client's folder. And I'm like, that was so cool. And then I sat down and talked to them, and it's not encrypted. The email itself is not encrypted. So I had to turn it off.
You and Ernest have to talk.
Yeah.
See what you can do and help her out there, Ernest.
Well, unless, it's their system that goes to email. I mean, there's nothing I can do to encrypt it.
Well, there are so many 1099s going through email. I have a client that uses a smaller CPA firm, and That's how they wanted me to send it. So I got all the information together, put it in an envelope, and drove it on down.
What I told one client, I said, okay, here's the deal. If it's my account where you're a client and you're a user and we're going to collect W-9s for you, I am not putting an attachment on an email. I can't risk that liability. Now, as a friend, if you have your own account and you want to attach it to your notification, don't show the client. I'm like, that's your risk, but I don't recommend it, but it's nothing preventing you from doing it.
I know some CPA firms just really seem to be, oh, just email it. And I was like, no, I'm not emailing it. We'll set up a secure file share or something. I'm not sending you all this stuff by email. But, really funny story. I had a CPA firm call me today because one of the clients I fired this year went to them to get their 1099s done. And they just call me and they're like, oh, I just need your EIN to send you a 1099. I'm like, great, what client is this for? Well, I don't know. They just asked me to call you to get your EIN to send you a 1099. I'm like, well, that's not really how it works. Why don't you tell me the request and tell me who you're asking for, and I will gladly send it. They email me, and I look at the person at who it was, and I'm like,
Who?
no, it was a client
That you had fired.
Oh, this was one that I did onboard correctly, and when I onboard them, I set them up with a Dropbox folder that has a copy of my W-9 in it.
Sure.
So I grabbed the W-9 from the shared Dropbox folder with this former client, and I emailed her and I said, here's the one that was in the shared Dropbox folder. Here you go. But
I
I
know.
was talking to a CPA this morning who she was talking about all the compliance, security compliance that they have to do now.
Yeah.
And she's saying she's having to take she had to take a whole bunch of training and everything. They have to show that their machines are encrypted and what their plan is if something goes wrong. And
Wow.
you
Very
don't have to go through all that. And I'm like, no, but I'm married to Mr. Security, so I bet I got a tighter ship than
You do.
most CPA firms.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're on camera. I'll shut up. Yeah.
So we're going to switch gears a little bit. I got a notice that American Express is teaming up with Bill.com.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's my question. What does that mean?
Are
I
they
have
being bought out?
I think what it means is, from what I got from reading the email, is it means that American Express has made a special deal with Bill.com, and when you can use Bill.com to pay all of your vendors, and they call it vendor pay, and it's slightly reduced prices, and you have to pay them with your American Express card, with that American Express card too.
And you can also now, instead of just having credit card, you can have a check sent, an electronic check, or you can do the ACH.
Yeah.
And they're at the normal Bill.com rates.
There you go.
So my question is, where do you want to maintain this? Are you maintaining this in American Express, or are you maintaining it in Bill.com?
That's a good question.
Bill.com.
I
Bill.com
doubt
Who knows?
specializes in- Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would maintain it in Bill.com because they specialize in accounts payable. American Express is a credit card. I don't know.
American Express didn't write a whole new program. It's probably still in Bill.com.
Yeah, so why go through them? Doesn't make
Because
sense.
don't you
Reading
think
it-
that they were just trying to, Bill.com wanted to reach all of American Express customers?
Yeah,
That's
they got
what I think.
They wanted some warm leads instead of cold leads.
Maybe.
On the
And American
website,
Express
it
is hoping
looks-
you'll pay more vendor bills through credit card.
Oh, yeah.
I use Bill.com. I recommend it to my clients that need it, and it works. It's not all the time seamless. We do have some issues from time to time, but on the whole, it works pretty well.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have Bill.com, and my client has American Express, and I do the automatic invoicing every month. So they do have a Bill.com account because they had to for me to set this up. But do they really want to go into Bill.com? And I've talked to them before about they do very little checks, very few checks. Most of all their expenses is payroll, quite honestly. So
Got
that's, they're using a payroll company. So it wasn't really economically feasible to use Bill.com for the 2 checks a month they write.
Right.
So what do I say to them? Do we want to try this? I don't know.
Monthly fee. Is there a monthly fee?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
I'm surprised Intuit hasn't come out with something like this, where they trade off from Intuit.
Well,
They
they're
do.
better.
They have,
Or I think they have.
They have.
Yeah, that's right.
Their payments.
With QBO, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Citibank has a payment program also. Where you can
Citibank
pay.
does. Capital One, Bank of America, they all do too.
Got it.
So
Like bill pay, right? You're talking about bill pay.
yes.
Yeah.
So what's the advantage? I mean,
Well, yeah, I don't know. It'd be
That's
interesting.
my
They would
question.
love to have everything in one
Well-
spot.
well,
Well,
there's
the other-
yes.
I think that's kind of in a sense, what I do like about Bill.com, because it all comes into QuickBooks,
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just like having one thing. There's so many different apps nowadays I don't know how many apps you use per client. I mean, some of my clients, there's so many apps, and I even just for my practice, what I pay out every month is kind of outrageous.
We just had that conversation. We're reducing our apps now at this point. I'm looking like Sarah at the return on income, and if it's not there,
It's not there. I mean, there's some cool features like that you can get, spoiled and you like I have one client left on LedgerSync, and the reason is the owner wants to read his canceled checks, and if he goes into the bank, he has to click on one at a time. Whereas if he goes to LedgerSync, he can just scroll through them. And he's, he had some fraud in his bank account. And now we have all new bank accounts, and he really wants to keep on top of it. And it's just so much easier for him. And I'm like, that's a lot of money.
and that's a good reason. That's a very good reason. If someone actually does do that.
Right.
But I
everybody
find
else-
clients do as little as they possibly have to.
And I've got one client left on HubDoc, and that's because they were such not a problem. We everybody has all their issues, but I've installed a ScanSnap, and I have it set up so that it says Sarah on it.
And that's our conduct to
Anything you
you.
go to Sarah, just put it in that machine, that magic little machine, and it just right up to the cloud.
And Sarah gets a notice.
Angela gets it or whatever. Yeah. She just goes, Angela just goes to HubDoc and everything's there. Just anything. I said, you know what? Just anything you think we need. So, and it works, right? What?
I'm gonna stop you. Wait.
Okay.
Right
here. Let me mute.
Okay, so we will have to keep an eye on American Express and Bill.com, and if anybody's using it, let me know how it's working for you. I'm tempted to try it just because I'd like to try a shiny new toy, but the cost in there just don't really seem like it's going to be worth it to me for the clients that I have.
No, because it looks like it's regular Bill.com pricing. And instead of having everything stored in Bill.com on that website, it looks like you do everything through American Express, and you may or may not get American Express points for it, depending on how it's paid.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll keep an eye on it. So Sarah is back to working with her employee. So we're going to move on to our next app that we were going to talk about today, Finagraph, or CashFlow Tool.
Yes.
So you had talked to Michael, what was his last name?
Good question.
Okay. But we were commenting on.
I could go look at the email. It might have been Stuart or something like that.
Okay, hang on a second. I'll tell you. Michael McCormick.
Oh, yeah, McCormick with ACK at the end instead of ICK, which is unusual. Usually it's spelled with an ICK.
So we've been dealing with Mike Milan, CashFlow Tool.
Oh, okay, got it.
So Mike McCormick is Finagraph. I thought that they were the same company.
They are the same company. It's kind of like Qbox is Coral Tree.
Okay.
Okay, so the program, the software you use is CashFlow Tool, but it's owned by Finagraph. The software we use is Qbox, owned by Coral Tree.
Okay, got it.
You know, so that's all that is. So the other person would be the same person. I think that you may be talking to the owner of the company or something.
So Mike Milan was the one that was on with Seth for a while. CashFlow Mike. I don't know if anybody saw any of his videos or anything. And he actually, if you use CashFlow Tool, inside of the program are videos that tell you what to do and how to help you. And that's Mike Milan.
And Mike McCormick is the same way. What happened is Woodard gave a webinar about using the CashFlow Tool. And then after he did the webinar, he said, click here if you want to be contacted. And then whether you click there or not, they contacted you anyway. So, and I listened to it. I had to put it off 2 times, but I actually had the demo yesterday and I really like it. But I told him I need to figure out how I'm going to pay for it. It's basically $90 a month through Woodard. So it's usually $100 a month for 3 clients. And it's actually for 2 clients. It's $100 a month for 2 clients, but you get 1 free. So basically it's 3.
And they expect that free one for you to use yourself.
Well, it's interesting because when I talked to him, he said you can use it for yourself or you can use it for someone else, either one.
Okay.
He said it really didn't matter. It's really an extra free one, which means you get 3 for $100. But because of Woodard, you get it for $90 a month. And they do charge it monthly. They don't lump sum it together like ShareFile. And the other thing is, they have a certification course, which is usually like $199, and I round that to $200. That you get free with Woodard. And then there's something else. Oh, well, they also have all kinds of videos to help you practice selling it yourself to your clients, you know. And they say most people charge the client $300 a month for it. And so they're getting $900 and spending $100. That's what they say. So, you know, I'm looking at it seriously. If I get into one, I think I'll do that one. I don't know. There's also QVinci, of course, but QVinci is mainly really good for consolidating and for putting, like if you have franchises and you have 10 franchises, it can consolidate them all together.
Right.
Which CashFlow Tool does not do.
Right.
So,
Definitely value in that.
and the consolidating.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
There's things,
QVinci is Dennis's buddy.
Got it.
Chuck Vijan. I can't even say his last name. Dennis is speaking and I muted him.
Dennis
He had piano
Thompson?
going on in the background. Hang on a second. Let me find you. Okay. You're unmuted now.
No, he hadn't. You
No,
remuted.
neither one of them. There, now he is.
Okay. Chuck Vijan. Yeah, he was with
Cube.
Cube. Yeah, Cube.
QCube.
QCube. And I think that's kind of gone a different direction. Well, I haven't really paid much. I haven't really been involved with that for several years now. So,
Ernest is QCube certified.
That's
I was
all
going to say
right.
Ernest is Power BI and QCube. And
Can't hear him.
Not
I
talking.
see you, your lips moving. You're not muted, but we're not hearing you. Ernest.
maybe he's not even hearing us. He's just showing off his good looks there. He's looking around.
Yeah, I have no mic for you at all. Nothing listed, Ernest.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so it's chat if you want to.
He can chat. CashFlow Frog is another. Okay.
I like
That
that
sounds
name,
fun.
CashFlow Frog.
CashFlow Frog.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I did a demo with CashFlow Frog probably 6 months ago. And it seemed like a really good program. I don't really remember the details.
Unless you really get in there and search them, which was what usually I see Sarah doing. When Sarah wants to research all these, she does a smart sheet. And then she compares everything, And
Nitty gritty.
but speaking of that, though, I've been using ShareFile to keep all my files secure, and I really like it. But I thought Liscio might work, but Liscio is a lot more limited.
Okay, so we're on Liscio. Okay, stop for a second, Linda.
Got it.
We've changed.
Yeah, we did change subjects here.
Liscio.
So Liscio now is what we're talking about. So yes. And
As comparing it to ShareFile.
okay, got it.
Okay, for storing files and having your clients to have access to get backups and that, and their CPAs.
So that's a different thing than what I would have considered Liscio for. Is when they were trying to sell it to me, it was more of a communication.
Yeah.
Instead of doing emails, you put an app on your phone or desktop and everything goes through the app.
Got it.
So
Yeah, and I think that's what it's really big on. And I'm thinking,
Well,
like, do I really want to? I have like 10 clients, so I don't have a lot of clients, so they don't get lost.
go ahead, Ven.
Liscio, to me, how I use it for almost everything. Like, it's my communications platform. Like, I avoid email, and it's very secure, and that's why I went with Liscio. There's no hacking. I mean, I'm sure maybe there could be somebody that could hack it, but not like email.
No, it's much more secure.
And what I also like about it is the file sharing. I'd rather do it that way than send it by email, because again, it's encrypted. And everything is in one place. I look up the name either through the client or the account number, the account name, and I could access everything, files, communication, everything. And my team has access to it as well.
Got it.
Now they just, at the beginning of the year, they incorporated a signature platform.
Yes, and it's a good one, I think. It's
I love
Adobe.
it.
Yeah.
They walked me through it, and what I love about Liscio is their customer support.
They have excellent.
Awesome customer support. Chris.
Well, maybe I'll stick with it and see if I can just.
Well, it sounds as if
I highly recommend it to anybody
you
that's
don't need ShareFile.
Yeah, I wouldn't, but it's like it's more designed for bookkeepers and accountants.
No, you don't.
You don't think so?
Do everything. You don't need. If you have Liscio, you shouldn't need ShareFile, because you upload it up on there, send it to your client, and your client could send it back to you that way as well.
Yeah, do you usually send like reports in that rather than
Yeah.
data files? Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I don't use anything. I don't send anything through email. Everything is done through Liscio,
Got
whether
it.
a file or whatever.
Yeah, so, but I don't usually send any reports because I usually do the reports in person there, or, oh, you know what? Maybe, I think I need to look at it more closely. I think Liscio
You and
probably.
Yvette should
will well.
talk privately
Yeah,
and,
probably I need to do that.
and,
Thank
Yeah,
and,
well,
yeah, see how it is. You're
figure out
using
how it works when-
ShareFile. Alrighty, well, we are
Yeah.
at the top of the hour. Was there anything else? Shannon, did you want to briefly talk about Cashe Bank?
Yeah, so Cashe Bank is the bank that was involved with the My Payroll HR fiasco in September. They filed chapter, I can't remember if it was chapter 11 or chapter 13 bankruptcy today. And they have, just trying to find, I'm looking at the article, and it says that is estimated that they owe money to between 200 and 999 creditors. They're said to have between 10 million and 50 million in assets, but owed the same amount in liabilities. And it is chapter 11, I just found it. So, but listed amongst the creditors is a $147 charge to the city of Pasadena for a false alarm. And I thought that was really strange because the sentence preceding that says the filing lists nearly 750,000 in claims filed by creditors ranging from $692,557.86 claimed by Seattle-based Verde Human Capital.
So I wonder if someone went to their office and a creditor that was mad went to the office ready.
Well, if it was a false alarm, then is probably their alarm went off and police came and they weren't needed.
Right.
Rather than if somebody came by and they
Going crazy and
yeah,
somebody that
would
was
not
really
be a false
affected.
alarm. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more interesting information coming up with that, because I know, they all of a sudden quit processing ACH for every company that they worked for when Bancorp Financial pulled their accreditation.
Yeah.
So no big surprise that they're going bankrupt. Not a surprise that this just brought them down. That's unfortunate and sad.
I am also just waiting for criminal charges, because what they did when they pulled back those direct deposits it wasn't legal. It did not follow NACHA regulations, but I don't know what actual laws were broken, because NACHA regulations are not laws, they're regulations.
Right.
But
I'm sure more will be coming out. I'm sure we'll hear more. So let us know when you know more.
I will.
Right. That's interesting.
Anybody
Did
else?
they ever find? Yeah, I wondered if they ever found the man that was the one who pulled it off. I guess he's in the Cayman Islands.
No, he never left New York. He turned himself in, but they let him go back home without posting bail or anything. They just released him back to his house.
He's not a risk.
This New York and California. Well, the crime rate has gone way down, and you know why? We don't call them crimes anymore. They're not crimes anymore.
Yeah, you don't, yeah.
That's too funny.
Oh, I know it is.
Well,
That's funny.
Happy weekend.
yeah.
All righty, everybody. On that note, I guess we'll see you same time, same place next week.
Bye.